Good morning. Thank you for being here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about two cases, two arrests that we've made, and at the conclusion of that, we're going to talk a little bit about this ongoing budget battle that we have with the county. So above me here, the first case we're going to talk about is a theft from the comptroller suite. That's Ryan Butler, clerk of the court. For those not familiar with that term, comptroller, this is the county's clerk of the court, also is their comptroller. During the month of May, they determined that there were thefts happening over at the county building. And their team started doing their own little investigation and eventually brought us into this. And our team, with the help of their team, determined that it was the cleaning crew that was doing this theft. So our team set up a hidden camera, and you can see some of the stuff that was taken. There was an iPhone taken. There's this massive check that was taken. And of course, these are a cleaning crew that was in there. So we set up a hidden camera, and this is our suspect right here. And in talking with the other constitutionals, this same cleaning crew works in Carol Jean's office, our tax collector, and their team over there has video of this guy walking around. You'll notice he's really not paying attention to actually doing his job. He's just casing the place. That's his entire role here, is he's just casing the joint, looking for what he can steal, what he can take. We suspect there's probably other thefts that we don't know about at this point, which is a reason why I wanted to do this today, to get it out here, because there may be other victims at the county who had items stolen over the last few months who don't even realize it. I don't believe that the county has shared this information with their employees. I know that everyone's aware that the cleaning crew was fired, but I don't know that they realize the extent of the thefts and things that were occurring. Here's this guy going through the drawer, taking our bait money. And shortly thereafter, we were able to take him into custody. What we found out when we took him in custody, Mr. Jeremy Palmer, is that he's a 9-time convicted felon who was working for this cleaning crew. He was brought in under the contract for the county office. Obviously, no background check was done. He was hired, he was on active felony probation when this happened. We violated his probation for this theft and as well as charged him with this. This guy has previous charges, including multiple drug charges. He had one in there that was possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. He had one that he wasn't convicted of, but it was an attempted murder charge. This is a bad guy. He had full access to the entire county facility. And we very fortunately on August 5th were able to take him into custody just a month ago. So while we were working this case with the clerk's office, it came to our attention that there was a motion sensor that had gone off at an odd time, after 9 o'clock at night. And when we looked into it, what we found is this guy walking around, and nobody could identify who he was. Is he part of the cleaning crew? Is he somebody that we don't know? Nope. He's just a burglar who broke into the county building because they left the door unlocked. So this guy had a big time walking around the county building, looking in all the offices. He sat down and he ate meals out of refrigerators. He went into all the different offices. We had a great still photo of him. So our team in the Real-Time Crime Center did what they do best, and they were able to identify this guy, and we made an arrest. That's Leonard Thompson. He's charged with burglary of an unoccupied structure. This was August 6th that this one happened. He's a 10-time convicted felon who made his way into the county building, went through all the offices over there, just spent the night in the county building, looking around, having a good time. So these are both items that could have been prevented by simple things: locking doors, background checks. Nobody comes into the sheriff's office without a background check, without having their fingerprints taken to be part of our cleaning crew. And it's the same cleaning crew. The county pays for that cleaning crew, but before we let them come on our campus, we always make sure that we know who's here. We give them access cards so we know where they're traveling inside of our buildings, what offices they're coming and going from. So we have track of that kind of stuff. Simple security measures. And for years we've had a great relationship with the county. This is something that we could conduct for them. They asked us to do a background check. We're going to help them out with that kind of stuff. But as of late, they seem to forget how important law enforcement is. And here's two great examples in the last month of where thefts are occurring in their building, and they're not willing to fund us in what we need to do our operation over here. So if you can tell, I'm pretty upset about this situation. If you look at the budget that was presented this year, every single office was approved except for the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. The clerk's office asked for an increase, they got their full increase. The comptroller asked for, the tax collector asked for an increase, full increase, 10%. Rightfully so. They need that money. They need to be able to do their jobs. The county, 26 new positions. They asked for it, they got it. We are the only one that in the budget workshops, they have made the decision not to fund. And I'm going to come back to you next week. This week I'm here to tell you about what the county's not doing. But I'm going to come back to you next week and I'm going to show you the good work that this team is doing over here. Because I can tell you the money that's invested at the Indian River County Sheriff's Office is spent well. We're cognizant of these taxpayer dollars. We're spending it to prevent crime. We're spending it to put bad guys in jail and do what the taxpayers expect with our dollars, with our taxpayer dollars. I can't say the same for the county. I can just tell you what we're doing over here. They've made this personal. This is not about Eric Flowers. My salary is set by the state. It has nothing to do with me. I'm going to fight to ensure that we have the resources that we need to protect this county and to do the things that are necessary to make this a great place to live, work, and play. And I'm going to continue that fight. The commission is at a crossroads right now. Next week, they have some very tough decisions to make. They've got a meeting on Tuesday. They've got a meeting on Wednesday. They have the ability to make some good decisions next week and to change the course of this. This is not a done deal until the end of September. They've got 2 more hearings. If they continue down the path of what they did at the budget workshops, we'll have to do what we have to do. But they can change course. They can make different choices. And I urge them to look at what's happening right underneath their noses, look at how valuable law enforcement is to them, and make the right decisions. With that, I'll take your questions. Yes, ma'am.
Sheriff, in a previous letter which you shared with us and with county commissioners, you had said that your revised budget, a decrease from the $14 million that you were asking for, would lead to underfunded and deferred needs. Are you saying that this is already an example of that?
No, obviously the new budget doesn't go into effect until October 1. We're already starting to tighten the belt. We're making tough decisions. Part of this decision that's on them, not just next week, but through the next month, is that if they do choose to not fund my budget request of $12.2 additional million, they will have to put in writing what it is that they're cutting. And so we're making decisions on our end to try and save as much as we possibly can. We've tightened our belts, but we're going to keep trying. We're going to do everything we can. And I'm still very much willing to work with them. But they've got to make good decisions. They've got to make the right choices to let us get to a point of where we can do this in a good way. Other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Obviously, you had talked about an iPhone 16 being stolen, a check as well. Do you believe that any county or personal information could have been compromised in those thefts?
The fact that we had 2 people who had unfettered access over there is very scary. It's alarming. We don't know exactly what it is that they got into. We do know that the second guy, the burglar, did sit down at some computers. He did try and access those. We don't believe that he gained access to those. But I do believe there's potentially other victims. I think there are probably county employees who have not been notified of these items that are probably missing items. And they need to know, and if they are victims, we want them to come forward. We want to be able to work and determine, was it the cleaning crew, was it this burglar, what was it exactly that was happening over there? So I urge any county employees that have had things go missing over the last few months to let us know.
Has anyone from the county contacted you about the county administrator getting himself a raise?
I'm aware of that situation. I will say that's an active criminal investigation, and that's not something that I can comment on at this time. Yes, ma'am.
If your funding increase requests are not granted, what areas of your agency do you believe will see the impacts the most?
Well, obviously we have to see what the county says that they're going to cut, but it's going to be, some very tough decision making. Obviously the community likes the community relations side of our job. They like all the PR stuff that we do, But unfortunately, when it comes down to brass tacks, protecting the kids and protecting our community is number one. It's the utmost importance that we do. And we're going to make sure that the kids are protected, that our community is protected. And so it may adjust. You know, obviously, being reelected as sheriff, I've set a mission, I've set a course of where our agency is going and where I see us going. The things that we've invested our money in have paid dividends. Some of our jail programs have reduced recidivism. We've done so many good things in the community. Our community affairs team is out giving out food in the Gifford community. We're doing amazing things. And some of those things are going to have to stop if they don't fully fund this operation. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your time. We will have a press conference next week about all the good things that are happening here at the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. So I look forward to seeing you back here next week. Thank you.